let's talk about the workshop we offer through Adept events, Working with Business Processes, which for quite a few years has been our most popular workshop around the world. Now, what's the goal? The goal is very simply to help a business analyst or a process analyst improve how an organization operates. And improving how they operate doesn't necessarily mean being more efficient. It might mean being more responsive to changes in the marketplace, being more innovative, being more sensitive to the needs of individual customers. So what this is all about is helping identify what are the end-to-end processes in an organization and how can they be improved to help achieve the strategic goals and objectives of that organization. Now, how do we cover this? What are the topics that we're going to cover? And surprisingly, one of the first things we spend time looking at is what is a business process? Because everybody has a different idea when they hear the word process, what it means. So we clearly establish what is meant by an end-to-end business process, and then we move on to looking at what are the issues you're going to encounter when you work with end-to-end processes. Because an end-to-end process is going to involve multiple organizational units which may have their own conflicting goals and objectives. So we'll establish what actually is a business process, what are the issues you're going to encounter when you're improving business processes, and then we take a very case study-based approach and we look at how do you identify your organization's business processes, because they're hidden. They're hidden in systems, they're hidden in organizational structure, they're hidden in different geographical areas. Once you understand what the processes are, we show how do you do an initial assessment of how well or how poorly that process behaves. Then we move into how do I model that process in a way that helps everybody, not just the analyst, but the business itself, understand how that process really operates, who does what, when. And once we understand that, then we can do another assessment and look more carefully at the process and understand what's working and what's not working. We'll build a picture of the reality of the process. We'll do an assessment of how well or not that is matching our objectives. And then that moves into the key point, how do we redesign a new process? And it turns out there are some very specific steps that we want to cover when we design a new process. So this class is sometimes called modeling business processes, but it's a lot more than just modeling. It's discovering your processes, establishing the scope, doing an initial assessment, understanding the as-is, assessing that, and then designing a new process. And we cover all that in a repeatable, structured methodology. Now, who attends these workshops? Who comes to working with business processes? Originally, we designed the workshop for business analysts. That was our primary audience. But now, as organizations are becoming more, I would say, process-oriented and establishing business process management, discipline, and groups, we have a lot of people who are process architects, people who are process owners. We have executives and line managers showing up who need to understand, how do I actually help my organization perform better? So this has now become almost what we would call a big tent course. So we have everybody from quite technical people through analysts, through architects and executives, all coming together and sharing in the experience of understanding, how do I actually work with business processes? Thanks. Hope to see you at one of our workshops soon.